On Saturday, we are celebrating the Feast of a Chair. It's actually more important than you might think. Today is Wednesday, February 19th. From Ave Maria Radio, this is Michigan Mornings. Good morning from Ishpeming. I'm Matthew Handley. Let's begin with this news. We begin with a brief update on Pope Francis. In a statement yesterday afternoon, the Holy See press office announced that the Holy Father has developed bilateral pneumonia and he's undergoing additional treatment, but that he remains in good spirits. Back here in Michigan, as frigid temperatures continue across the area, organizations are opening their doors to ensure that people can get warm. The Pope Francis Center Bridge House facility on Detroit's west side was open Sunday and Monday night as an emergency shelter. Father Tim McCade, SJ, president of the CEO of the center, said the deaths of 2 children sleeping in a van last week helped spur the decision to open as an emergency shelter. Detroit City Council is unanimously approving Todd Bettison as the city's next police chief. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan recommended Bettison for the role. He was serving as the city's interim police chief since former Chief James White stepped down. Bettison has served the department for 27 years. Bay City residents are quite unhappy with the city's continued partnership with Bay City Bridge Partners. That's the company that runs those tolls on the area's bridges. Residents spoke at a city council meeting on Monday night.
The unlimited crossing option going away will realistically turn this town into a single bridge, heavy congestion city for a majority of working families and businesses that need to cross multiple times a day.
Bay City Bridge Partners is dropping an option to pay for unlimited toll crossings, and the city says they are in negotiations with the company, but will not comment on the substance of those negotiations. To Lansing now, where bipartisan bills have been reintroduced in the state house to ban deepfake pornography. Republican Representative Matthew Bierling of Vassar and Democratic Representative Penelope Cernoglu of East Lansing have introduced the package of bills. The bills received near unanimous support in the state house last session, but did not come to a vote in the state Senate. The creation and distribution of media falsely portraying someone identifiable in a sexual manner without their consent would become a crime in Michigan, punishable by up to 3 years in prison. And the U.S. Army Corp of Engineers is considering giving the Line 5 tunnel project, quote, emergency status in response to President Donald Trump's declaration of a national energy emergency. The agency has been studying the feasibility and funding for the project for years now. Line 5 is owned by the Canadian energy company Enbridge and runs at the bottom of Lake Michigan, parallel to the Mackinac Bridge. In the final days of Governor Rick Snyder's administration, Michigan and Enbridge agreed the line would be encased to protect the Great Lakes from an oil spill. Construction has yet to begin, and critics say there's too many risks to encase the line.
Do you have a teenager at home who's full of potential? Too often the world is telling you to be content with mediocrity instead of raising respectful and responsible young adults with strong character. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Ray. If you need some help, not only to navigate those teen years, but to really enjoy them, check out my book, Standing Strong, Good Discipline Makes Great Teens, as well as my other books on the store page at AveMariaRadio.net.
The wind chill is going to be below 0 again today in Detroit. We'll have partly sunny skies with a high near 20. That wind chill will be at -6. Tonight, snow is likely in the early morning hours with a low around 13. Tomorrow, we can expect mostly cloudy skies with a high near 23. Friday warms up a bit, partly sunny skies with a high near 28. And Saturday will be partly sunny with temperatures around 29. The wind chill is going to keep it cool again today in Saginaw. We'll have partly sunny skies with a high near 20. The wind chill will bring values down to -10. Tonight, snow is likely in the early morning hours. It'll be cloudy with a low around 11. Tomorrow, we'll have mostly cloudy skies with a high near 22. Friday warms up a bit, partly sunny with a high near 28. Saturday will be partly sunny with temperatures near 29. Welcome back to Michigan Mornings. I'm Matthew Handley. This Saturday, the church celebrates the feast of the Chair of St. Peter. Steve Ray joined Vanessa Denagarmo on Epiphany to discuss why we celebrate this feast.
All you got to do is look out at the confusion of Protestantism, and I say that as one who used to be a Protestant. How do you know which one's the right one? They all compete with each other. They're called stealing sheep from each other back and forth. And who's the final word? So when it comes to where do you find the unity, you go back and look at the early church, and there was one church. And it was the Catholic Church. And it didn't start breaking up into all of these denominations in Protestantism until Martin Luther came along. So when I discovered that from the beginning, Jesus had founded a church and picked this guy named Peter and said, I'm going to make you rock. Your name is now Rock. I'm going to build a church on this rock. And I'm going to give you the keys of the kingdom. What does that mean? He's making him the prime minister of his kingdom. Jesus is the king. He appoints a prime minister. And I realized that there was a chair as well, and the chair represented authority. And so I realized that that the chaos of Christianity today, Jesus had said that I pray, right before he goes to the cross, he said, I pray that you will all be perfected in unity, that the world may know that the Father sent the Son. It has to be a visible unity. The world has to look out and see a visible unity and say, oh, the Father sent the Son. But if they don't see a visible unity, the world has the right to say, the Father has not sent the Son. And that's where we stand today. The world doesn't listen to Christians anymore. The world pretty much ignores us. The world says to us, why don't you guys get your own act together and then come and tell us you have the truth? But you can't even agree among yourselves. There needed to be a chair of Peter. There needed to be a central authority. There we celebrate the chair of St. Peter. Usually we're celebrating the death of people or saints dying, but here's a very strange one. We're celebrating a chair.
Tu es Petrus, et semper hanc Petrum aedificabo ecclesiam mea. That's from Matthew 16:18, and it's the words above the altar at St. Peter's Cathedral in Marquette, Michigan. Catch Epiphany today at noon on Ave Maria Radio. St. Athanasius says, for as the word we speak is an image of the Word, who is God's Son, so also is the wisdom implanted in us an image of the wisdom, who is God's Son. I'm Matthew Handley. That does it for this edition of Michigan Mornings on a Wednesday. Lord willing, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.